lies have short legs. That's what they say. It's easy to capture lies. It's easy actually to be exposed, especially when you are carrying a nefarious agenda. It's quite clear that the president of South Africa, that is Cyril Ramaphosa, feels embarrassed with his visit to Zimbabwe, and also Pretoria is struggling to contain this visit, which has gone viral with publications in Zimbabwe and also revelations scary as to what Ramaphosa intended to do. Now, according to the communication by the South African presidency, it says something else, which is contrary with the communication conveyed by ZBC. Remember, ZBC is a propaganda machinery in Zimbabwe. It is directly controlled by the bedroom of Mnangagwa. They cannot run a story without actually getting a stamp from the bedroom of Mnangagwa to run it. Look at what they posted. This is the South African actually presidency. I have read it before, but I will read it again. But before I do that, let me greet you and welcome you to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch. So you're dominating the screens because we report accurate news. I mean, accurate more than more than actually some preferred stations. Now, the presidency in South Africa said this. Said His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa earlier today undertook a working visit to the Republic of Zimbabwe for an engagement with his Zimbabwean counterpart, His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa, to discuss issues of mutual and bilateral interest. South Africa and Zimbabwe maintain a historical, political, and dynamic trade relationship. In 2005, South Africa exports to Zimbabwe totaled up to 4.3 billion, with agricultural products and machinery dominating the majority of traded goods. Now listen to the version of the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Authority, that is the propaganda machinery of Emmerson Mnangagwa. It reports as following. South African President Ramaphosa pays a private visit to President Mnangagwa. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa paid a private visit to President Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa at his brickable farm in Kwekwe, where two leaders held discussions and exchanged views on a range of issues aimed at strengthening cooperation and growing the economies of the sister republic. It was a private meeting. Now, let's just dismantle this lie once and for all. Now, a president, where have you ever heard that a president will actually engage? Of course, a president against the president, they can have a one-on-one meeting, private meeting, but a president cannot visit another country and without following the established protocols. If it was a working visit, we're going to see Ramaphosa. In fact, why also going to the private residence of Mnangagwa? If he wanted to visit, it was going to be another visit. Maybe if he had visited for 2 or 3 days, he was going to fly there. But after and everything, I mean, why this private meeting also has to be done at the Prikebo farm? That's the point that I want to underscore to show you that we are being lied to here. It was meant to be a private meeting, but that private meeting is already leaked. And even the contents of that private meeting, they are already playing out on the public domain. Thanks also to Barakashi, who are pompous, but also they work under instructions. They were told to do so. I think everything about Mnangagwa seems to be leaking. If you've been following everything about this administration of Mnangagwa, they try to hide, but somehow it lands to our ears, and we make it public and to be consumed by the people of Zimbabwe, as they deserve to know. Now, if the ZBC says it's a private meeting at the Prikep farm, where have you ever seen a president going to a foreign country? He was not even welcomed by his own ambassador. I didn't even see the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Such meetings of a president, at least is supposed to travel with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and all international protocols be accorded to him. They were not accorded to him. He flew from Pretoria and went straight to the Prikep farm, and no formalities were done. Zwikananda's rushed there. He was in a private meeting with Mnangagwa and Zwikananda. Guess what was discussed? It's Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. They want support of Cyril Ramaphosa. They want endorsement of Cyril Ramaphosa. And Ramaphosa, I think, by virtue of visiting Harare, Harare Miklands privately, already that on its own tells us that privately he wanted to make a concession. I think it is because mainly of what meetings equals to disaster, you can say that. And any meeting that happens at the Prikep farm of Mnangagwa, it's a disaster. And we know that that is the home of Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026. Everything that is done by Mnangagwa at that farm, it is so clumsy. And already the details are out there. Of course, I can attest to you that we are going to continue getting more shocking details as to what was transpired. Just imagine the sovereignty of Zimbabwe being discussed at the Prikep, at the private residence of Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa. What do they take this country for? What do they take the people of Zimbabwe for? I think Mnangagwa, by the way, there are so many charges that can be preferred to him if he is removed, as well as Zwikananda's. They are violating the constitution of Zimbabwe as well as the rights of the people of Zimbabwe on a daily basis. Remember, they can claim it was a private meeting, but a private meeting funded through the state resources. Because when Mnangagwa moves, he used the fuel from the state. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have money. Every money that he has stolen it from the state coffers. It is the money that belongs to the people of Zimbabwe. And I hope when the military finally removes him and they are genuine at addressing the root causes of the problems affecting Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa should be arrested. And Mnangagwa should be asked very tough questions. And all those around him, they should be really, we don't want to see what happened to Wicknell Chivai when Mnangagwa came through and it ended in thin air. We want to ask that guy tough questions, because Zimbabweans are suffering because of these people. Zimbabweans are embarrassed left, right, and center because of these people. It can't continue. This cannot continue. At some point, it has to stop. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Also, before I finish, I think also Wicknell Chivai, remember they are frozen assets because there is a massive divorce of him that is taking place, most probably in the private discussion that came out. And I strongly believe also that the son of Robert Gabriel Mugabe was assisted by Mnangagwa to be in Zimbabwe. And that other guy whom we think is in South African prison, I don't think so. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm coming.